Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk about the last part of German special rules, which has to do with Tiger Race skills, a couple other tank rules or special abilities that tanks get Germany, and also a couple artillery rules. So I'm going to start with the Tiger Ace skills. And how you can tell whether or not you get, like your tank could have a Tiger Ace skill, is you will go to your tank company that you're going to purchase. So let's say I'm going to look in Devil's Charge here, and I'm looking at this SS Kampfgruppe Piper. And if I go and look here at this HQ, and it says Company Command Königstiger tank always has 2 Tiger Ace skills. So that tells me right there, this one's going to get 2 Tiger Ace skills. Now let's look at this platoon. Nothing's listed. So this platoon does not get a Tiger Ace skill. If I flip to the next page, to the Schwer SS Panzer platoon, remember to roll your Tiger Ace skills before each game. So this does get a Tiger Ace skill. So that's how you're going to find out whether or not the platoon or commanders, whoever you're purchasing, does get this Tiger Ace skill. And what you're going to do is, at the start of the game, before you deploy anything, you're going to roll a die for each warrior or a platoon that has the Tiger Ace skill. And that Tiger Ace skill is going to apply to the whole platoon. And if I roll it for this warrior, that Tiger Ace skill is going to apply to that warrior. So what does this die roll give you? Well, on page 244 of the rulebook, I'm going to bring this out here, is the Tiger Ace skills. Now they show a die, but they also show this little symbol. I don't have the Tiger Ace die, so I'm just going to have to roll a d6. But the Tiger Ace die would actually have these symbols on it, like the little lightning bolt, the hands, iron cross, crosshairs, and some shells. And then this one has a spade. I'm just going to roll this die, and that's what I'm going to use. So I don't have the little special symbol. So what you do is you just roll the die and 2. So if I roll 2, it's Clever Hans, which is tanks in this platoon re-roll failed bogging checks to cross rough terrain and skill tests to free bogged down tanks. So that's nice. You get that. You can try to go through that terrain a little easier. I was worried about it. If they have wide tracks, they roll to free themselves after re-rolling the bogging check. Well, that's a really nice ability there. So you just basically roll a die, and that one says you get 2. So let's say this is that warrior. It gets the 2. You get 2 skills, I should say. Remember that company commander gets 2 skills. So that'd be its first one. Its second one would be a 5. It's going to get rapid fire. The 8.8 centimeter tank guns of the Tiger tanks in this platoon have rate of fire 3. So that's really nice. Instead of getting 2 dice to shoot with, it's going to get 3. However, if it moves, it goes down to rate of fire 1. So your enemy is going to want to make that tank move. So it only gets 1 shot instead of 3. Okay, so that's really simply all it does, is it gives you your tank a little extra ability. Now, it could also pass those abilities on to others. And how does it do that? Well, first of all, it has to be part of the platoon. So let's say I rolled either for the platoon command or a warrior team. And then it's part of a platoon. So the warrior joins a platoon, or of course that platoon commander has other tanks under it. There is some that, because you rolled it for the platoon commander, will also apply to that platoon. Because you rolled it for the warrior and it joins this platoon, they now get a special ability. And that is if you roll a 1, 2, or 3. So if we rolled a 1, that's that little lightning bolt, it's Schnell. The platoon may make stormtroopers moves on a roll of 2+. Well, that's really great. What if you only get it on a 4+? Now, if you really need that platoon to move, this warrior joins them. Now they get to do that stormtrooper move on a 2+. The next one would be a 2, which is Clever Hans. Tanks in this platoon reroll failed bogging checks to cross rough terrain and skill tests to free bogged down tank. If they have wide tracks, they roll to free themselves after re-rolling the bogging check. And I've already gone over that one. So that would apply to the whole platoon. Or if that warrior joins them, they get that. Then finally, for the Fatherland, this platoon passes motivation tests on a roll of 2+. Woo! Just think if you're going into assault with these tanks, and you want to counter assault, 2+ now. As long as he's still alive. Now, the other two here, I'll get to 6 in just a minute, but 4 and 5 only applies to like the commander, or only applies to this warrior. Now, if the whole platoon says specifically this whole platoon gets the skill, then yeah, these would apply. But if it's just for the platoon commander or this warrior, and he joins, they do not get this. The platoon he joins with. And that is, every shot counts. So Tiger tanks in this platoon re-roll any failed to hit roll when they shoot. And finally, rapid fire. The 8.8 centimeter tank gun of the Tiger tanks in this platoon have rate of fire 3. So again, when it says in this platoon, it's if the whole platoon gets to take Tiger Ace skill, then this would apply. And also don't think because it says Tiger tanks, it's only Tiger tanks. Because I know, like in the Desperate Measures book, there's some, I think they're called Heschels. They're little, let's see if I can find one. Yeah, here's one. It's one of these little doodads here. There's a platoon in there that gets a Tiger Ace skill. Well, this is not a Tiger tank. Definitely does not, I don't think it has the 8.8 centimeter gun, but they do get Tiger Ace skills. So don't get tricked into thinking this is only for Tiger tanks, because it could be other tanks. And again, I showed you where you can find what platoons get and what don't. Now, the last one is 6. This is the tricky one. If you roll a 6, you just roll again and take whatever you get. But what if you roll a 6 a second time? You get to choose. Then you roll the die one additional time. This is only if you rolled it twice. And if you roll a 6 a third time, you get an extra ability. So that is really, really nice. If you get really, really lucky and start rolling some 6s, 6, and then I roll another 6. Oh, I get to choose. Let me roll one more time. Maybe I'll get another skill. Get another 6. I get another skill. So that's that. So that is all I've got for the Tiger Ace skill. It's pretty simple. It's all on that one page, and it tells you what you get. And that die, I've seen people put like the die on the tank to remind them what ability you have. Like that has the symbol, like the lightning bolt, because it's easy for them to remember. All right, let me move to the next section. All right, next thing I want to talk about, and that's on like the stug here, is what's called Schurzen. And again, I don't know German that much, so if I mispronounce it, I'm sorry. But how you can tell whether or not, and this actually has it right there on the side, you can see those panels sticking up. And that's just to help the tank against certain weapons. So if you look here at like the Stug G and go across, it says right there. Oops, you can't even see it, can you? Here we go, Schurzen. So it's going to tell you again, equipment and notes, what has this and what doesn't. So if we look here, this one does not have it. This King Tiger. Panther G does not have it, but this Stug does. Schurzen. So what's going to happen is America is sitting here and they're shooting the side. So this is not against the front. This is against the side. And then they failed their armor save against a bazooka shot. The other stipulation is it has to be a weapon with a firepower of 5+ or 6+. So if we go to infantry teams here and look at the bazooka, it has a 5+ firepower. So it would apply in this case. I'm hitting side armor. I have a 5+ firepower. It failed its armor save. It has a Schurzen. What happens next is it gets a 4+ save. Not them. It gets a 4+ save to nullify the shot. And this is done before the firepower test. So you don't wait to see if the firepower test or not. It's hit, it penetrated, they failed their armor save. Well, maybe, 4, guess what? It bounced off the Schurzen. If they rolled, let's see if I could do it actually. Yes, I rolled a 1. Then they're going to do a firepower test, which was at 5+. Are they going to destroy it? Oh no! They bailed it out. So they bailed out the tank. So that's what Schurzen does. It has to be on the side. The tank has to have it. You've had to have failed your armor save. Then take that 4+ save to see if you can actually just nullify that shot. So that's what Schurzen does for Germany. The next thing I want to talk about, and I'm just going to throw the Stuka out here because I don't have one of these. It's called, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, Begleit Escorts. Basically, it's with assault guns with tank escorts. And they have this special ability, use the normal tank escort rules. So if they go to assault, they get 2 dice. The tank escorts can also shoot and stuff like that. However, they also can shoot their main gun, their hull-mounted main gun, and their hull-mounted machine gun. Normally, a hull-mounted main gun and a hull-mounted machine gun can't be fired at the same time. But with this special rule, you're allowed to do that. But also, not only do you get that bonus of the main gun shooting, the machine gun shooting, the hull-mounted machine gun, but those tank escorts, let's just put these guys up here. So these tank escorts can also shoot. So you're going to get your main gun, your machine gun, and them all shooting. So that's really nice bonus in that normally if you don't have those tank escorts, do you want to shoot this gun or do you want to shoot the machine gun? You have those tank escorts with this special ability, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it again. All 3 can shoot, the main gun, machine gun, and them. Plus, you get that extra die in the assault. Ooh, that's a really nice ability. All right, the last thing I'm going to head to is the artillery. All right, next thing I want to talk about is armored rocket launchers. And I'm just going to throw my Sherman out there because I do not have the model. So here's an armored rocket launcher, okay? Even though it's an American, we're talking about German rules. I'm just putting it out there for explanation purposes. Okay, so if it's an artillery platoon has armored rocket launcher teams, and they fired, and when you do rocket launchers, you have to put the smoke behind them because big plumes of smoke get built up, and that's to alert the opponent that, hey, I can try to spot these guys even if they are behind a hill. That smoke is going way up here, so the opponent can try to range in on them even though they can't see them and they're considered concealed. Well, that's kind of a bummer in a way. Well, these guys that have the armored rocket launcher rule gets to do a skill test. So let's say they are trained, so they need a 4+. 3 failed. Just keep it down as usual. But if they make it, and I did, so that is removed. Now they're behind that hill, and I'm over here, that direction. I can't see over this hill to see them. I'm behind the hill. I can't shoot at them now. I can't range in on them. because they made that skill test to get rid of that smoke. It's basically they kind of moved or something. So if they don't make that test, it stays there, I can try to range in on them. They're considered concealed. If they make it, and that time I did not. If they make the check, that goes away. Now, if I can't see them, it's just like any other artillery shot. My spotter has to be able to see them. So that's what armored rocket launchers, really nice ability there for Germany. All right, we're going to head to the last ability, or skill, or special rule. However you want to say it for Germany. All right, I know I'm going to mess up this name. Stuka Zufus, or something like that. Which is basically Stuka on foot. And I don't have the model, so I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm taking this Calliope things I had and put them on these half-tracks. So it's half-track rocket launchers. So that's I'm going with that. What happens is they can shoot, but you have to think of them kind of separately when they shoot. Each of them is going to get their ranging in as usual, so they each get their own die to range in. And you're going to have to decide when you shoot how many of these are going to shoot in the bombardment. And each one is going to get their own template. So it isn't a combined force to go, ooh, I get the bigger template now. No, it's what does this one want to set its template on? What does this one want to set its template on? What does this one? And what does this one? So they can shoot at different things, or they can shoot at all the same thing, but it's not a combined shot. So what's going to happen here? You get, for each one of these dice, you get 6 chances to range in. So I'm going to take these away because I have to do one at a time. So I decided what I want these to shoot at. Now, who can spot for them? The company commander, or they can. Now remember, the company, the company commander, platoon commander, and all that can spot for them, but they can only spot for one of these. So if you use your platoon commander or whatever to spot for this one, he can't spot for the others. So it's a little bit tricky, and this is kind of a weird kind of rule on this. So you get 6 chances, not 3. You know, I normally go, oh, I missed, so I need a 5, miss. Oh, I got on that one. So I got on the second attempt. But let's say now I can't fail. There, failed, and third attempt failed. I'm done with that one. You get 6 attempts. So fail first, second, oh no, it's destroyed, second, third, fourth, fifth. I got it on the 5th one. For each failure, it originally had 6. It counts as 6 rockets going off, or 6 artillery pieces when you first go. So for each failure, I have to drop this down to 1. Now it's down to 5, then down to 4, 3, 2, 1, until there's nothing left. So I took the 5th time. So first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, 5th attempt. So now it's counted as shooting only 2 rockets. And I cannot keep this on there now. It was doing so good. There we go. So now only 2. So what template can I use? This. The normal one. And with only 2 shooting, I have to reroll hits. Okay, once this one's all done with the shooting, you check to see how many hit, they make their saves, whatever, that one's done. Then you go to your next one. So you're going to do each of these individually. It has 6 also. So let's see how many I need. A 5. 1. So now, if I make it, I'm down to a 5. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And that's pretty much it. 6 attempts to range in. I'm just going to take that one off. All right, now let's see about this one. 1, did it. First attempt, got it. That means 6 it's considered 6 rockets going onto the target, or 6 artillery pieces shooting. So if I look at 6 to 8 weapons firing, do I want the reroll misses, the smaller template, or the bigger one with no rerolls, which means this monster template, which is double of this one. So that's really what happens there. Is you get 6 attempts to range in, and it starts at equal to 6 pieces, but each failure drops it down by 1. So I failed once, now I'm shooting 5. Oh, failed a second time, now I'm shooting only 4. So that's kind of an interesting little twist there. Now I will also say, let me see if I can rescue this one. That, oh, I can. It's just get out of there. If it fires in bombardment, it can't fire another one. Each team, I'm just going to turn down. I'm upset with that one. Each team can only fire 1 artillery bombardment per game. So if I fired these 2, they cannot fire any more of those bombardments the rest of the game. These 2 are still able to do it, but they can only do it 1 time in the game. And that still counts whether or not I ranged in. So like that one that failed to range in, I think it was this one, it's still considered to have fired. It will not get another chance this game. Now, just because they fired, you can still use them for transporting its passengers. So it isn't that they shoot and then they're removed from the game. They can still be used as the transports to carry around passengers. So they're a one-shot weapon. They each do their own individual shooting. You got to be careful of who's spotting for them, because normally you can do a staff team and all that kind of stuff, but they don't come with a staff team. So when you shoot it, do you really want to shoot it? Because once it's shot, it doesn't get to do it again. Okay, so that's it for Germany's special rules. The next one I think I'm going to go over is the Soviet special rules. So, until next time, have a good game.